So wanted to take a few minutes, maybe make a series of some use cases. Now that Sam has released his Cyberface mixer, there's a bunch of things that come to mind that I think as creators, if you're new or just getting into it, or if you've been doing it for a while, it kind of unlocks a whole box of things that we can do now that didn't exist prior, or maybe existed but we didn't know how to do it. Now it's not only do we know how to do it, uh, you know, with the tool that's been released, makes it super easy to get into it and to apply some things that we haven't done before. One of the things, and I'll take maybe just through a series of these. Like I say, I call them use cases, whatever you want to call them, just opportunities to make some changes or to some enhancements. Um, One of them that I'm looking at is if you're just doing like a hair swap or something. Say a player changes their hairstyle and you want to be able to apply that. Well, now we have a tool that can do that. So in my case, I'm going to use Jalen Bridges. Jalen Bridges has a Cyberface ID. I think it's 8310. So I'm actually gonna create a new Cyberface ID for him. I'm gonna use you can put in 8310 and just override it. For my case, I'm gonna use the next numeric number that I was gonna use. Um, and again, that's just kind of a personal preference. But if you wanted to, you could just put his in and it would override him. I have a ton of Cyberfaces already in there, so I don't really want to overwrite things. Um, I'm gonna use a new number anyway. But what I do want to do is I'm gonna take his assets and if this would work for any player. So I'm using Jalen Bridges. I'm just gonna type in Jalen Bridges 8310. Let me grab him again. I'm using that Control A to select and kind of type over. Um, so I'm grabbing his face, his body. I'm gonna leave the hair off right now because that's what I want to swap. Throw his beard back on, and I actually not gonna put his headband back on because with the new hairstyle, he doesn't wear the headband. This is tying into a real life thing. So um, there I'm taking a look at it. You saw just for a second there flashed up of what I'm trying to mimic or match here. So I'm gonna uh, leave his hair headband off, but now I'm going to grab his chest. I'm going to grab his legs, make sure those are on there. Take a chance. Like these presets are awesome. If you guys don't use these as creators, we use these presets all the time. That it's awesome that he has a bunch saved that we use. That's just good. That's makes it really easy. If you don't know how to do skeleton edits, just use the defaults. It's awesome, and it gives it kind of a more athletic look. So I'm hitting the manual, and I'm just dropping it in. Uh, Gonna back out here and show you where that takes place. So there you go. I took the hair off, right? So it doesn't register a hair. Like those files aren't gonna come across. Again, this is kind of why I'm doing this on a fresh CFID for me. But again, you're just overriding what you have. Anyway, so now I want to apply that hairstyle, right? It's kind of got that fro, kind of a mid fro. I'm gonna. I still use the uh, screenshots from 25. They're still available to everybody, and I just have all the pictures up. I do this a ton. I kind of know what I'm looking for, but you guys, if you don't know, you have the screen. It has all the screenshots of people. Look, I know what I want, but I'm just seeing real quick if there's something that's maybe a little bit more fitting. Probably not. So I'm just gonna go with what I thought. Jalen Swanson, cool. That's kind of what I was looking for. I think this will work regardless. So I saw that number. So I'm just going to go find it. I don't remember if I remember the number here. Yeah, 8147, Jalen Swanson. Pull it up. It's cool that we got the models. That's really sweet. Making sure nothing's checked there. I'm going to hit the manual mix again. And that's just going to immediately drop that hair file on there. Um, Reset it. And the hair that I was looking to get is automatically there. It actually fits up pretty well. But if you needed to, you could open up that edit body, drop it into that blender, and make the quick changes. Easy. It's super simple, but that's what we've got. Um, so for me, like, there's so many things that you could apply this to. In this case, we're just doing a hair swap, but if you have a player model that, let's say, they grew a beard and they don't have a beard in the game, you can just come in here and swap the model, add a beard. You might have to do some texture work to make it look right, but that to be easy. If you want to put goggles on a player that doesn't have goggles on, put them on. Adding a headband, an actual headband, instead of having to use an accessory. All of those things are possible now, and you can just work through the process. I'll try to demonstrate some of those as I go through them, because this is, like I said, the way that this file structure works now just makes it super easy for us to add things and make it changes, and you don't got to know a ton. You don't have to know all the naming and all the, you got to go grab all the materials and the meshes and all these crazy things that you got to learn over time. This makes it super easy. Even Blender, you don't have to be an expert at Blender. You just drop it in there, grab the sliders. Everybody can understand an XYZ axis and scaling and offsetting. That's pretty simple. Fit it up. It's gonna be close. Again, we talk to modders. A lot of us can spend hours and hours and hours making things perfect, but to make things, um, close enough to where they work in the game, that's kind of the target here. So, again, try to get some of these out. Try to get out in front of people and try to make it easy on people, because I think this tool is phenomenal. So, see you guys on the other side.